We are rolling. Whenever you're
We're in.
ready.
By the way, Avery brought me a muffin. What'd you bring me?
It's a blueberry muffin.
Where's it from? Actually, this looks really good.
I can't remember the place. We went there. Cream? Crema? I don't know. I don't go to coffee shops. But I did today. How's it?
Really good. You want a bite?
Actually, yeah.
Take a bite of that.
Taste test.
Really good. This is a good way to win people over. Bringing muffins into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
But she said there was one muffin for everyone. There's like 6 people here. So I should pass it back. All right.
Oh, no. It spilt a little.
It's okay.
It's okay.
God, now I'm chewing this muffin. Really good. Did you get by that? It's good, right? Mm-hmm. You don't drink coffee, right?
No.
You just started drinking matcha this week.
I discovered it last week.
How'd you, did you really discover it? Like, you didn't know there was a thing called matcha? Or
Well,
you
no.
tried it for the first time
I
last
knew
week?
there was matcha, but I tried it for the first time last week.
And where? Like, were friends pushing you to try it, or why'd you try it?
So this is the story. Me and my amazing manager, Tina, go on the road together, and we get Dunkin' Donuts all the time. By we, I mean she. And I was like, I felt left out. I was like, I need a drink. Like, I don't drink coffee, but I need a drink.
That's
so
what
I was like,
saying.
I'm going to try matcha. And then I did. And then
From Dunkin'?
From Dunkin'.
I didn't even know Dunkin' had matcha.
Me neither.
And but you don't like the taste of coffee. But we were talking a second ago. You're pretty caffeinated. You like caffeine.
Yes.
But you don't like the taste of coffee, so you don't drink coffee.
No,
But you're
yeah.
not afraid of caffeine. You'll drink caffeine.
No, like Coca-Cola and like the Pink Monster, the Coconut Red Bull, like those are like my favorite caffeinated drinks.
Yeah.
But I quit caffeine just for health, I guess. I don't know.
Is it for health? It's a big monumental
I'm
moment,
just trying
actually.
to be better, doing what I can.
But do you get a caffeine kick from the matcha?
I feel like green tea doesn't have
As
hardly
much.
any caffeine.
If I drink
Yeah.
matcha, I get very caffeinated.
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm caffeinated today.
This might be
Maybe
a
I didn't
caffeinated.
quit caffeine.
This might be a caffeinated Avriana
this
that we're
might
listening.
be.
So I want to dive into this because one of the things that you always say is that you would wake up in the morning when you were a kid, like when you were growing up, you'd wake up in the morning, and at 5 a.m. you would just start singing, which this doesn't make any sense to me because I sang all the time early in the morning when I was a kid, and I never became a good singer. So I don't understand how you became a good singer just by singing every day at 5 a.m. Like how'd you know how to sing? Was it just supernatural?
I guess. I mean, I've been singing like my whole life.
But I've been singing my whole life too, Avery,
Well-
and I don't sound very good. I'm a massive singer. I
Never
sing
give
everywhere.
up. Okay, Zach.
No,
Never
it's too,
give up.
It's too late for me, Avery. I don't understand where I went wrong, and you were doing something right at 5 a.m.
I don't know, had the drive.
But what does that mean? Because I'm telling you, I was a passionate singer too. How'd you know, like, did you ever worry about technique, or would you record yourself and listen back and try to improve?
Yes. I mean, I don't think there was that much technique going into it. Maybe I just have good genes. I'll give the credit to my mama.
But would you wake up in the morning and just, like, have a song in your head and you would just, like, sing that song?
Yeah, like, I would go to school. Like, after I would sing in the morning, I would go to school, and I remember sitting in math class and being like, having withdrawals. I'm like, I feel like getting a guitar and singing right now. And so that's why I would wake up every morning doing it. Like, I would just, I don't know. I listened to music all day, and every morning I could just think of a song that was, like, fun to sing or, like, write my own.
And when did you learn guitar?
I was in 7th grade, I think. I taught myself off of YouTube.
Everyone learns guitar on YouTube,
Yeah.
right? Wait, but how old were you when you started waking up at 5 a.m. to start singing?
I think I was in 6th grade.
Okay, so
Yes.
But like, are you trying? Like, for example, like if you listen to an interview with Shawn Mendes, like he would sing these like short snippets that were like a measure or 2 measures long, and then he would listen back religiously until he felt it sounded right. And then when he'd sound right, he'd sing another 2 measures. And he was like
Right.
so obsessed with this. Like, was this kind of your thing, or no? You were just singing freely, and eventually you kind of just got better.
Right. I was mostly just singing freely, but I will say when I do like content, like when I post a video, this is kind of embarrassing. Maybe I shouldn't share this, but most of the time, especially if it's a cover, I have like 50 drafts of that one song because I just want to perfect each line and each phrase. It has to have like the right phrasing and like emotion. Yeah, I'm very obsessed with that.
So you'll record again and again. Sometimes,
Over and
like
over.
when I do this, like sometimes I'll post videos on Instagram, like me doing guitar licks or whatever. And sometimes I'm trying to find that perfect take, but then sometimes there's like an imperfect take that I end up posting
Right.
anyway,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
What
yeah.
is that? What are you? What are you looking for with that take?
I don't know, just like the deliver of emotion has to be there, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like the deliver of the feeling of whatever I'm singing has to be there. So if it is through one that is kind of imperfect, then I don't know. I feel like I can tell when I watch the video. I'm like, did that make me feel something? Because something my mom would always say when I was younger, like singing in church, is if you don't feel it, they won't feel it. So I'm always trying to like be present and feel it in the video so I can feel good about.
Would you
putting it
grow
out
up
there.
singing? Did you grow up singing in church?
I did, yes.
In what setting? Like in a choir, or would you sing like solo?
No, solo. A little bit in a choir, but a lot with my mom. Yeah.
Okay, so you're waking up singing,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't you think that you would never have a career in music?
No.
But was that because you must have seen people who had careers in music,
Right.
so you must have known it was possible.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
why
yeah.
why did you think you would never be able to have a career in music?
Well, I remember 12-year-old Avery going to Taylor Swift's concert and like sitting in the stands and thinking, I want to do that so bad, but I wouldn't like let myself have that dream and say that's what I wanted to do with my life because I loved it so much. I didn't want it to be taken away from me. So I remember like as a little girl being kind of self-deprecating and not allowing myself to label it as my dream just so that I could never lose it. I just wanted it to be something that I had for myself for my whole life, whether it was a career or not.
But you were worried that if you chased it and it didn't work out, it would be crushing.
Yes.
It would be heartbreaking.
Yeah, I was so worried about it. So I just didn't ever let myself, I don't know.
That is such extreme thinking.
It is, yeah.
But looking back, do you think like, oh, that's crazy. I should have chased it full force, which now you are.
Right.
But
Yeah.
like, that's so interesting that at 12 years old, you're like, I want this so badly
Yeah.
that I'm not even going to
No.
bother
Yeah.
chasing it.
Well, I mean, naturally I chased it on my own. All those hours at 5 a.m. singing and like the 2 a.m. bedroom, writing in my journal. Like, I've been chasing it my whole life, but not as something that I could, make money off of. It's just something that like feeds my soul, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait,
Yeah.
so but at 5 a.m., going back to this, did you feel like you were making progress over time? Like waking up at 5 a.m., like did you feel like you were becoming a stronger singer?
Yeah.
Or was it hard to tell?
I think I could tell a change in my voice from freshman year till now, I guess. But I wasn't really doing it to like get better. I was doing it because I felt like I needed to. Like I wanted to so bad. It was just, I don't know, the outlet, I guess.
Of just singing.
Yeah,
it wasn't even about getting better.
No, I wasn't sitting there like, I'm going to practice. I mean, I did do that, especially with like instruments like guitar and piano. I'm like, I'm going to practice and like get better at this. But with singing, it was something that I just like wanted to do so bad that I loved. And so I just did it.
Do you still sing that often, or now
Yeah.
now you're like,
No,
Ugh.
I sing all the time.
really?
Yeah,
See,
all the time.
This is what I'm saying. I sing all the time. If you were ever around me, like I sing in the shower, I sing at home. My neighbors are like, "Who is this guy?" I sing all the time, and I've never become a good singer.
Well,
That's okay. I
I
took 2 years of singing lessons in college.
Mm-hmm.
You know what my singing teacher said to me? She said, "Look, this is true." She said, "You're not the worst student I've ever had." That's what she said to me. But I sing all the time. You sing all the time, and you got really good. I'm jealous, is what I am. I started too late, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
That's tough, right? That's really a bummer.
I
Okay,
don't
wait.
know.
So
Yeah.
but you never thought you would have this career in country music,
No.
but you started posting on TikTok in the pandemic.
I did.
Because you were bored during Zoom
During
school.
Zoom school, yeah, I would like turn off my camera, mute my microphone, and I still passed my classes somehow, but
Avery's
Yeah.
super smart.
I'm super smart.
She's humble
guys.
too. That's one of her best qualities.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks.
but when you posted on TikTok, was that purely because you were just bored during Zoom school, or was a part of you that says that you didn't want to chase this dream? Was a part of you like, this new social media thing might be an outlet to becoming a singer,
Well,
like
see,
chasing my dream?
Like, I wasn't thinking that way. My brain wasn't like, oh, maybe I'll blow up on the internet, you know? I was just doing it for fun. Like, I was singing in a bathtub. It was kind of a joke, to be honest. I was like, just bored, and I just did it. And when it blew up, it was like 9 million views, and my mom was like, those aren't real people. I was like, Mom, no, I just blew up on the internet. And my cousin that was living with me, she's like, Tess, like, this is serious. Like, these are real people. She just got, like, TikTok famous. I've been trying to get TikTok famous for months now. And
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, and how many videos in was it before you had, like, one really go off?
I mean, before I was just doing dancing videos with my friends, a couple singing videos, but I usually kept my singing videos to Instagram on my personal account, you know, just with my family and friends. And I don't know, one day I just did it in the bathtub.
And that was like your famous moment. Do you start singing in the bathtub like from that point on? Or
I was singing before in my mom's bathroom.
But I mean like recording it for TikTok.
Right.
Like all your content at that point were you like, this is why you became the one who sings in the bathtub.
Yes, I was the bathtub girl.
Because the acoustics were really great.
Yeah.
Is that why you were in the bathtub?
That is why. I would go in there and just play the guitar too, like sit on the floor.
Yeah.
And just sing. Because it's so satisfying. Like, singing to me, it's like itches my brain in the right spot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you blow up on TikTok, and then at that point, do you start having this feeling like, wait a second, maybe this dream of becoming an artist, like maybe I could do this.
Yeah.
Like immediately? Or you
Yes.
did you have an instant just change of mindset, or like what happened?
It's kind of like hard to remember because it all went by so fast. But yeah, I felt the taste of like, oh, maybe like the dream that I've told myself I couldn't have for so long is like gonna happen. After a couple videos and people were reaching out to me, and you know, my managers reached out to me, like Matt Thomas from Parmalee was the first one that saw my tub video on TikTok while he was on the tour bus, and he showed David Fanning, and David DM'd me, and then I started working with him and Tina, and then from there I was like, this could be a real thing for me. Like, I could do what I love. And from that point on, it's just been, like, chasing. I've just been, like, trying real hard to have it be a success, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, so what did they DM you when they DM'd you? Like, what did they say?
David was like, hey, like, would you maybe want to work together? I saw your video. And I was like, no. Thanks. I said no at first because I think I was 16, just about to turn 17 at the time. And there was multiple people like reaching out through Instagram. And
Really?
Yeah, and my mom was like, we've just been saying no to everybody because I was a junior in high school.
Well,
like, what am I going to do? Like, be famous? Like, I was like, this isn't.
It felt that weird?
Yeah, I was like, what do I, like, I don't know. I just didn't know. So I just said no, and then I thought about it, and I prayed about it, and the next day I was like, Mom, like, I think this guy's legit. I have a good feeling about this one dude. And she was like, okay. And so the next day I was like, okay, how much money is this going to cost? And he's like, that's, like, it's free. That's where you're wrong. If someone ever says that, run away.
Yeah,
and
right.
So, yeah, it started from there.
That's because on one hand, there's a reputation in the music industry that's almost cliche, going way back.
Yeah.
To like people kind of ripping people off
Right.
like this. But on the other hand, if you don't trust someone, if you don't take a leap of faith, you'll never get to the next step, right? So, but this guy, was it like the message of his DM or just like a way he looked? Or the fact that he worked with
had the
Parmalee?
blue check mark, and like,
Oh.
I did my research on him. And
Yeah. Wait, this was the manager that had the blue check
yes,
mark?
David Fanning.
David Fanning. So he reaches out, he had the
reaches
blue
out.
check mark, and you were just like, this guy's legit.
Yeah.
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 So you write back and you say,
No.
no.
And then the next day I was like, yeah,
Well,
let's have a Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you hop on a Zoom meeting and just good vibes.
Good vibes. It just felt right. And they, you know, we Zoomed a couple times, and then they flew out to Utah, and we cut Just 'Cause I Love You.
They flew out to...
They flew out to Utah. I
thought you were from Arizona.
I am from Arizona.
What's
but
in Utah?
We were on a fishing trip in Utah.
And they didn't
Something
say,
like
we'll
that.
wait till you're back home or whatever. They had to meet you on the...
Yeah,
you were on
they
like
were-
vacation, basically?
We were,
Oh, these guys seem pretty
Can't really
desperate.
remember.
They flew
Well,
out.
it worked, so you know.
It worked.
Yeah.
You were on you were on vacation, and they flew to meet you on vacation.
Yeah, well, I can't really remember what exactly my family was doing. I know we were fishing.
But
in
they
Utah.
come to meet you basically.
They come to meet me, and then
and you
we cut it in a studio.
in Utah.
Oh, I
Or-
was doing something for Kids of America too.
Oh,
Mhm.
or what? Or
I sang. I can't even really remember.
wait, but did you record in Utah?
We recorded in a studio in Utah.
Because it just couldn't wait. We had to
Nope.
like.
Yep. Well, I
how do you
posted
even-
a video of
Yeah.
me singing "Just 'Cause I Love You" in the tub, and that like blew up. I think that was like my biggest tub video, besides "Say Something."
Yeah,
And
that's the one I think that's pinned on
Yes,
your TikTok.
yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's got
so-
millions of views.
I mean, we were just like, let's get it done. You know?
In a I don't even know. And nice studio in Utah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd never met David and Tina in person yet, and me and my mom were out there, and we were like, first meeting you for the first time, and then we're just gonna cut a song today.
We'll
like,
go into the studio.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a thrill! Was that
it
the
was
first
such-
time you were in a studio?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so like the whole dream's coming together
Mhm.
right now.
Yep.
But like, are you worried to kind of like get too excited about it because do you feel like
Right.
it could kind of go away at
Yes.
any
Yeah.
second?
Yeah. So I don't know, every part of me that had been holding on to that dream, like every little taste that I ever got was just beaming. I was like, this is so fun. I think at the end of the "Just 'Cause I Love You" video, I'm like, oh, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like I was on cloud 9.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
just beaming. It was, yeah.
And
I'm
who
not-
are you like talking? Do you have like friends out in Utah with you, or like who are you talking to about this? Like, is this all happening kind of internally, or like do you have like a best friend that you're like being like, holy crap, this video went viral. This manager
Right.
reached out. We're in the studio.
Mhm.
Like how are you processing this?
Well, I have a really, really big family.
Yeah.
And I have 2 cousins that are my age. They're both girls, and they both lived down the street from me growing up. And so we were super close. And we are super close. And I talked to them about it. And we were all just like,
Holy crap!
because we all went to Taylor Swift together, and they're like, dude, like, this is awesome.
This
So,
is gonna be your moment.
Yeah.
So I remember there was a round
Mhm.
on Demumbrium that I went to,
Mhm.
and and you were playing. This was a minute ago,
Right.
and there were all these A&Rs at like all these label A&Rs who were there, and they were all trying to sign you.
Mhm.
And I was talking to some of them, and I was like, oh, like who are you here for, or whatever, and they were like, oh, we're here for Averyana. We want to sign Averyana. And I go, she's signed with Warner. like nobody knew. There was a moment where
Yeah,
nobody knew. It was
yeah.
like kind of a secret, right?
Uh-huh.
So did the management kind of facilitate that, or like how'd you end up signing with Warner? How's that deal come together?
I was Zooming with a lot of labels before I moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
And then
And always Nashville, or did you ever think about like maybe you could have moved to LA, or
Well-
I don't know where else?
from the get-go, Nashville just felt right.
Yeah.
You know, like that's such a feel-good town, and I came here for the first time last February. No, it was March, and it just felt so right. And then I signed my deal that July. I was at Lake Powell on a family trip, and
I want to go on a Averyana family trip.
oh my gosh, they're so fun.
They're going to Utah. They're going everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were on a family trip?
Mhm. We were at the lake
Yeah.
on a boat, and they sent me the DocuSign, and I like signed it with my mom and dad, and I was like crying on the houseboat. It was really fun.
And does someone review the contract?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
The contract was reviewed.
Well, my dad is a business guy, and so he was like a stickler about all of it, and
Yeah,
my
yeah.
managers are like
they weren't
the
gonna
best.
they weren't
They're
gonna
no.
walk you into a bad
no,
deal.
they
Yeah.
from the very beginning, they have been like kind of holding my hand, like taking care of me, like my guardian angels. I've got
Yeah.
a great circle of people. Otherwise, I'd probably be a
But
train
what
wreck.
was it? Something about that? Something about Warner that you really connected with? Like
Yeah,
was
I
it
mean,
Rohan, who's like the
Dude,
best? Like
yes, all of them.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of them are just so personable, and I could just tell from the first meeting that they really cared, and they really care about music, and they really cared about what I had to say, and they were just so interested, and it just felt great. Like it
Yeah.
felt right. It was one of those moments where I was like, I don't really have to think about it much more.
Yeah, it just kind of came
It
together.
just
And
did.
there's this picture on your Instagram where you went back, I guess, to Arizona for your prom, right? And this was kind of after you'd done like music industry stuff. And I just think if I was you going back to my high school after prom, I would feel so superior to everyone else. I would feel so legit. I've got the major record deal, the song blowing up on TikTok. Like, did people kind of know what was going on? Like, did you just feel like kind of a badass?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, naturally I'm like, okay, like this is pretty cool, but at the same time, I don't know, there's some pretty cool people in my school. They're all
Who
really
is doing
nice.
cooler stuff than like signing a major record deal and blowing up on TikTok?
Actually, one of my friends just signed to play football at BYU. And so that's pretty cool.
I don't know.
His name's Pearson Watson. Shout out to Pearson, but
Big shout out to Pearson.
I don't know. Yeah.
I guess that's cool, but to me this feels like a close second. If not superior.
Yeah.
I would feel so confident going back and like such a badass. It's like going back to your reunion and like being the one who became like
it was
rich
cool.
and like
Yeah, it was pretty cool, but I don't know. I feel like my hometown keeps me very grounded.
Really?
And yeah, like I go home and I'm very humbled.
Really?
Yes, like by everybody, in the best way.
Like how they humble you? Because
Like-
I go home and all my friends who I grew up with are like, "Oh, you're in the music industry." Like I'm not that interesting, but they think I'm really interesting.
Right. Well, they think it's
That's a big
interesting
ego
and
trip
they're-
for me.
Yeah.
You don't have that ego trip?
definitely- I do, but there's also a lot of like, I don't know. There's always that like small town gossip, and all that stuff. I kind of just keep my head down.
Do you think
I don't
people are
really-
gossiping about you
Of
in the small town?
course. Are you kidding?
Really? How do you know that?
Because
What are they saying?
They're just, Avery's on TikTok and she's doing her TikTok thing and
That doesn't really
she's
sound
writing
like
songs
gossip.
about the exes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think they're talking about like negatively? It sounds very
I
matter
don't
of
know.
fact what you just said.
I feel like I have no idea, but I do know there might be a few haters out there.
Really?
I mean, I've had haters my whole life.
Really though?
Yeah,
Have you?
like-
who hates Averyana? You seem unhateable.
I don't
Who's-
know, but I just I felt
You
I've
feel-
mostly from girls, I guess. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
high school thing.
They're jealous.
It's a high
I'm
school
telling you,
thing.
you signed the major label deal. Like you're a big shot. But hang on. So the Narcissist was that the first song that you put out? That was the one that really
That was the
took
one
off,
that like
right?
changed a lot for me. Just because I love you, all of the ones before, they were also monumental. I feel like they were just as important to me.
Yeah.
But Narcissist was definitely the one that had the most impact.
How many guys? Because there's Narcissist, Critic was shortly followed. How many guys are breaking your heart? Is this one guy or is this a handful of guys?
Well, I am a heartbreaker.
meaning
usually-
you break the hearts or you get your heart
Usually,
broken?
my whole life, I'm like, I break the hearts in a nice way. Actually, I have a really hard time breaking hearts, but I had one guy break my heart.
This was the guy.
This was the guy.
That
But
Narcissist is written about.
yes, but I'm such a peacemaker that like we're on good terms now. You know?
Really?
Like I can't just call him a narcissist and be like, done with it.
I think you totally
not
could.
I could, but that's just like not who I am.
Uh,
I have to make peace with like all of those situations. So,
Yeah.
but critic and narcissist especially, I feel like I can relate to those songs not only with that one relationship but with other people in my life that I have met, or I have friends that have narcissistic boyfriends or best friends or parents or very critical parents, and I don't know, I feel like writing those songs I was conscious of the people that I love and their situations with it also. So
What is that like? What are narcissistic tendencies? I mean, I know what that means, but what
Well-
was someone doing to you to make you feel like you had to write this song called Narcissist?
I feel like a lot of gaslighting and a lot of manipulation, and when you tell someone how you feel about something and they go straight to you're being so over dramatic and you're crazy, and that's just, I feel like it's a direct representation of who they are rather than who you are, because how are you supposed to tell someone how you feel and they're like, you're wrong? That's not how you should feel.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like someone that can't empathize or sympathize, and someone that is manipulative and gaslights a lot. I mean, I've just dipped my toe in it, but I'm not like a therapist or an expert about it.
And you made up with this guy?
Not made up, but I'm just
we're
like...
on good terms.
Yeah. Like, it's not like we're best buds, but...
Right.
I'm just like, hey, this wasn't like a personal attack to you. Like, it's not about you. It's about me. I wrote this song for me. And I put it out there for all the other people that have been through the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not personal. It has nothing to do with you. Like, people change. You're a good dude. Like, live your life.
Do people people must connect with the song like crazy? Like, do
yes,
people
I mean,
reach out to you or like DM you
of course,
or see you at shows?
The best thing that I think I have experienced is like the community of people that it's created is insane. Reading the YouTube comments and seeing how comfortable people are with sharing their stories on there, and seeing that they've walked through the same thing, and knowing that they can talk about it in a place where that I gave them, in a space that I gave them for my song, is such an amazing feeling. And I feel like it's so uplifting rather than sad, because it is a very like sad, mad song.
Yeah.
But you know, it's created just such a safe space for so many people, and going to shows and playing it to people for the first time. And I feel like when I make eye contact with certain people, I can just tell by their facial expressions if they have a story with the same experience or not. And people will come up to me after shows and like get emotional and be like, that song, like, I went through the same thing. And it's just such a good feeling. I'm like, girl, me too. Give me a hug, you know? Like
instant bonding.
Yeah,
right?
instant bonding. It's just that connection. It's so special.
Have you made any friends with anyone who is a fan? Like,
yes,
I feel like it's hard.
yes.
Like, you never know when people come up to you. They could be total loonies. They could be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But you were quick to say yes. You've made friends with people who are fans.
I feel like I'm...
Like, do you give your phone number to any fans?
I give out a phone number to fans, and they can text me on it.
All right, but it's
and
not the real number.
It's not my real number.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, got to keep it safe.
You
never know also
but
who they're going to give it to.
Could a fan cross the barrier to friend? And like is that possible?
Yes, I think it's 1,000% possible. Because it's not like, you know, maybe they are, but it's not like they're obsessed with me and I'm like so much better than them. It's just like human to human.
Yeah.
You know?
So
and especially if, you know, we relate on a lot of things.
Yeah, but most of the time you're giving out the separate
the community
separate number.
But I answer them every day for at least an hour every day. I take time out of the
fun,
day.
Actually,
it is. It's super fun, and there's a lot of funny people on there, and a lot of people send me sunset pictures, which I appreciate so much.
What do you mean, just photos of sunsets?
Sunsets, because I posted on my story. I was like, hey, text me, and then I posted a screenshot of someone sent me a sunset picture because I'm like, I chase sunsets all the time.
Yeah, right.
It's like a personality.
Do you get weird things sent to you too? I imagine people send weird things too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, but some people like even send me pictures of their babies, and I'm like, it's kind of weird, but I love it. Like, I love your baby. It's so cute. I'm so glad you sent me that picture.
We get baby photos.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So the new EP is called Mood Swings.
Yes.
Coming out.
Yes.
I was going through the writers. There's some big writers on this EP. Sasha Sloan, for example. I feel like you and Sasha would really get along, right?
We did, and I mean, I don't want to speak on her behalf, but I feel like we hit it off and like vibed so good.
Was it just that one song that you wrote? That
was the first time I ever met her.
And you just got in, wrote the song. She's great.
She's so great.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so I know no one sent me the record. I haven't heard any of this stuff.
I'm so excited.
But that song, I feel like you and her, like, does she kind of play like older sister character? Like, what's Sasha Sloan like in the room?
Yeah, I mean, she's very like present and very in tune from the get-go. I feel like she can process things in a different way, I feel like, than regular writers do. She can say things in a different way with just very, like, honest, straight to the point emotions that I feel like a lot of people can't just say.
Yeah.
You know? But we wrote a love song, and it was really fun.
Oh, I love that.
It was
So,
really fun.
when you write, because like Lori McKenna, you wrote a song with on this
I
record,
did.
right? Did you go to Boston to do it, or you do it in town?
No, I did it in town over Zoom.
Okay, so
but-
you write with Lori McKenna. I want to know, like, I feel like writing with Sasha, maybe you could be like a little more of your natural self because there's like a little less of an age gap, and I
Right.
feel like you guys might have had similar life experiences. Maybe
Right.
not though. But with Lori McKenna, I feel like I would be trying to be like an elevated
more,
version
like,
of myself,
older,
or more
mature.
mature, older.
Right.
Like I would try to like write. Like, is there
yes,
a difference?
definitely. I mean, I feel like I'm definitely very conscious of that. But when I wrote with Lori, the previous night I wrote half of a song at 2 a.m. sitting on my bedroom floor in a big t-shirt. And it was really sad, and I was like, just kind of brushed it off. And then the next morning I was on Zoom, and Colin Healy was on the Zoom with me. I write with him a ton. And Chris and Lori hadn't hopped on the Zoom yet, but we were going through ideas because I was like, this is Lori McKenna. Like, I gotta have some
You
ideas.
need to
like,
go in with something.
I need to go in
Yeah.
prepared.
Did you feel that way when you went with Sasha Sloan? Or
yes,
Did you,
I feel that way
Yeah.
going into every write.
but
No matter who.
But a little elevated
Elevated for sure.
with someone like
yes.
Lori McKenna.
And I had other ideas, and Colin had some ideas, and then we just weren't like, he's like, you got anything else? And I was like, yeah, I wrote like half of a song last night. It's really sad though. I don't know if this is like what we should bring in. Like, is she gonna be like weirded out by
No,
my
I feel like she's the queen of sad
right?
songs,
Okay,
Lori
but
McKenna.
yeah. And so I played it for him, and he's like, that's beautiful. Like, play it for her. And she loved it, and so did Chris. And then they completely brought it to life and helped
Yeah.
me finish it. And I feel like the song that we wrote is a very it's an all age thing. Maybe it's not something that you necessarily always go through when you're older, but I feel like you always understand it.
Right.
I don't know. We'll just wait for everyone to hear it.
Oh,
But
I can't wait to hear it. But
Yeah.
but like when you hop on Zoom with Lori McKenna, is that like the first time you're meeting her?
Yes.
And then what does she do? She must know that the people that when she writes with young artists, she has
Right.
to have an awareness that they're probably a little bit
Yes.
intimidated to write with her, right?
Yes.
So does she
She's
cut the
so
like how does she break that fourth wall, or how does she just
She's-
she's disarming, right?
she's just like such a good human to be around. Like, she's so happy and like, how are you? And it was like not intimidating at all
Yeah, right?
when I was actually on Zoom with her, because I was like, okay, like I feel so comfortable. She's very welcoming. It's super, super easy to just be like, here's the depressing song that I wrote last night about reading in my journal from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's my life.
Wait, what's the title of the song?
Biggest t-shirt.
Biggest T-shirt. And what is the what is the what is
story.
it? What is biggest T-shirt?
Yes,
'Cause
so-
nobody sent me the music. I was asking the publicist.
Yeah.
Nobody sent me. They sent me a lot of stuff, but nobody sent me the music. I think they're keeping it locked up because they want it to be a surprise when it
Right.
comes out.
It's kind of hard to explain, and I actually haven't really had to talk about this one a ton. But I was reading through my journal from my sophomore year, and I was in a very insecure place, and I didn't have a ton of self-confidence, and I was kind of feeling grief and like empathizing for my past self. And I was sitting on my floor in this big t-shirt, and I was like, I kind of feel that same like insecurity today that I felt 2 years ago. So I was reading about it and what I was writing and stuff, and I feel like over these past 2 years I've realized a lot of tendencies that I had, like being uncomfortable in my own skin, so I always wore a really big t-shirt, and listening to music all day and kind of going into my room and hiding from the world. And I was just really sad, and I was kind of feeling grief for my past self and empathizing. So I kind of wrote that song to her, to past me,
Oh yeah.
kind of just explaining that like feeling.
Wow. I think this is probably a great song. And do you tell that straight up to Lori McKenna, or are you kind of masking some of those things?
Well,
and like dancing around what the
yeah,
song is
kind
really
of.
about?
Yeah, I mean, when you listen to the first verse, in the first chorus, you just know exactly what it's about. I feel like I didn't really have to explain it. Like, she got it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not maybe something that I feel like every teenage girl ever, even guys, like, feel the same way at some point in their lives, whether it's when they're young or old. But I don't know, she got it, and the boys got it too, and then we just wrote the song.
Big T-shirt.
Biggest T-shirt.
Biggest T-shirt. Oh man, I can't wait to hear this. I'm gonna jump.
Well,
when
I'm
the record
excited.
comes out, I'm gonna jump right to it. So okay, the record's coming out October 7th. Is that when it's coming out? And I like that you have a date because a lot of people come in here and they go, the record's coming out sometime.
Yeah.
Like Clark goes, he's like, the record's coming out sometime next month. And I'm like, when? And they're like, we don't know. We're figuring it out.
Right.
You've got it together.
No,
Team's got it
got it.
together. You've got
Get it done.
You've got to get it done. You got to put it out. You'd be surprised how many people don't know when their music's coming out. It's real. But so October 7th, Opry debut, October 30th. What's today's date? What's the date? It's 16. Oh, there's a little bit of time. This will be out before you make your Opry debut.
Yes.
Here's what I think is tricky about the Opry is rehearsing. What did I say? Oh, no, but this podcast will come out before the Opry debut. What did I say? Did I misspeak? The Opry No, the EP's out October 7th. Opry debut September 30th or October 30th. Opry debut is soon. When's the Opry debut?
September 30th.
September 30th. Thank you. Whew. Oh my goodness. So here's what I think is interesting about the Opry is if you're playing a big, like let's say you were going on tour with Taylor Swift, right? You would have your band and you would rehearse with your band and get your set really tight. But for the Opry, you use the Opry's band. So to rehearse for your Opry debut, you're kind of solo, right? So are you going to sing the songs that you're going to do on the Opry? Do you know how many songs you're going to do? Two. So you're going to do 2 songs. Are you going to sing those songs solo a million times leading up to the Opry? Like, how are you going to prep for this?
I do my shows, me and the piano. So I am a one-man band.
Are you going to use the Opry band, or is it just okay?
I will use the Opry band for one of the songs, and then the other song will be me playing.
So you were going to play the piano. That's actually going to be a good touch. I think the Opry audience is going to like that.
Touch.
Do you have big nerves for this, or are you feeling pretty cool?
You know, I don't usually get nervous that bad for shows because it's just so exciting. I feel like my first 3 earlier this year, I was like, okay, this is a little nerve-wracking, but
Jake Owen, right? Was that your first show?
My first show was Josh Turner.
Josh Turner.
Yes.
I don't know why I said Jake Owen.
No, you're good.
Josh
you're good.
Turner
yeah.
was the first show.
Right.
And you were kind of nervous for that?
Yeah. And then, but the Opry, everyone's got to be a little nervous. It's
You've
like
gotta
the
be,
moment.
right? Yeah.
The moment.
Were you
And
nervous? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I don't know. Probably going to cry. But I really don't want to cry in front of people.
No,
I hate doing that.
I got to tell
But I probably will.
if you cry at the Opry, guaranteed standing ovation.
Oh my gosh, I hope so.
Guaranteed.
Maybe I should.
Everyone who I've ever seen cry at the Opry, Ray Fulcher, Abby Anderson, all the times I was like, every time I see someone make an Opry debut and they cry, standing ovation. That audience is with you.
I am not a pretty crier.
It doesn't matter.
I'm terrified of crying in front of people.
They're gonna stand.
I'm gonna
anyway.
blubber and be like.
Are you worried? Like, I just played a really big gig in New York.
Right.
In Wicked. I play guitar in Wicked.
Okay, cool.
And going into that, I was really unconfident that I could actually pull it off, and that was making me nervous. But I feel like you're gonna be able to pull this off. Like, are you worried you're not gonna be able to pull it off?
No, I think
you're gonna nail it.
Yeah, I think it'll be like such a great experience.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm worried about is if I don't soak it all in. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what you're
If I
worried
miss
about,
the
is you
experience
miss the
of
moment.
it. Yeah, I really want to let myself have that moment.
How do you think you do that? How do you just constantly just saying we're here, we're at the Opry, like
yes.
just constantly making mental notes?
I feel like I don't want to step into the circle and be like, just don't think about it, just sing. You know, I want to like
think about
be present,
yeah.
very present, and have that moment. And like 50 people from my family in my hometown are coming
in.
And yeah, it'll be really special, so it'll be hard for me not to cry.
I think that everyone, too, at the Opry, like, the Opry elevates everyone to a level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it might be the best performance you've done to date.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they'll get better, too. But, like,
right.
I feel like I always see people at the Opry, and it's like, I've never seen them, even though they maybe sound great, I've never seen them sound as good as they sound at the Opry.
Well, it's just it's a feel-good place.
It's a feel-good place. Isn't that the motto?
Good vibes.
Isn't that the Opry? Like, the
Is
Grand Ole
it?
Opry, good vibes.
Good vibes.
I think that's the motto. No, it's not the motto.
Well, it's gonna be my motto on that day.
Okay.
Good vibes.
We're running out of time.
Okay.
Avery Ann's very busy. She's a big deal. She's on the rise. The new EP is coming out October 7th. Okay? Mood Swings. Laura McKenna is a writer on one of the songs. Sasha Sloan is a writer on one of the songs. My good friend Ava Sapelza wrote a song, who I love. She's the best. And Andy Sheridan is like all over this, who I love Andy too.
Yeah.
How, is he a great guy in the room? You wrote like half this record with him.
Him and Ben Williams
Yeah.
are like my bros.
Really great guys,
They
right?
are the best.
Yeah.
Like my favorite.
Andy's got, his kids are cute too. You
Yeah,
ever
they're
hang
so
with his
cute.
kids?
They're so
Yeah.
cute. Yeah.
Okay, so record's coming out October 7th. September 30th. Christy over here, Avery's publicist, is giving me looks for getting these dates wrong. September 30th, we're making the Opry debut. And here's the thing. Actually, we've really learned a lot here about Avery. We've learned that she's very forgiving. She's a very forgiving person.
To a fault sometimes.
To a fault sometimes. I think you should be a little less forgiving.
Yeah.
And I also think that Avery is very self-aware. She's very self-aware that when she plays the Opry, she wants to be, her biggest fear is she's not going to be present, which I think is very self-aware going into it. We've learned that I'm excited for this record, actually. I think this is going to be really great. I think there's some great writers on this record that I think you vibe with, and I just think there's going to be something special about it. You need to follow her on TikTok. We learned that she sang every day at 5 a.m., and she became a better singer, unlike me who sang every single morning, and I'm nowhere. I never became a good singer. I was doing something wrong. But seriously, great to have you in the studio. I'm glad we were able to make this happen.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You need to follow Avery on TikTok too, right? Are you still pushing the TikTok really hard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
What's the next big thing though? Are you like the next big thing is like eventually a song will go to radio,
Right.
Or
Yeah.
like that'll kind of be the next big thing that elevates
all of the
it.
goals.
Yeah. Are you an Ingrid Andress type because you did this video with Bose?
Yeah, a
with
little
Ingrid
bit. You
Andress,
know,
right?
she's so awesome.
She
I
is,
just
right?
look up to her. She's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like even at Warner, like she is like a handful of years ahead of you, right? So
Right.
like I would feel like different moments doing things for the first time, making your Opry debut, doing this, like I would almost be like Ingrid, like what was it like
Right.
for you? And
Yeah,
kinda, like
yeah.
picking her brain on
Yeah.
these things, right?
Yeah, she was like, anytime you need advice, like let me
Yeah.
know. I was like,
And do you take
Of-
advantage of that?
I'm like, of course. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'll hit you up.
And do you text
Yeah.
her?
Yeah, a little bit. She
Little bit.
sent me like her good person vinyl,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
it was so awesome.
She sent you a photo of babies and sunsets too, which is weird because I thought only like fans did that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
but she's doing that too, which is great. Avery Ann on the podcast. Thanks for coming in to the Chase studio. Thanks for making it happen, and we'll have to have you on again sometime.
Yeah, thanks for having
when the
me.
record's out, and we'll catch up and
Of
we'll
course.
talk about it all.
Yeah.
So great to see you. Crush
Yes.
the Opry.
Thank you.
That's it. I got nothing else. Did we get it?
Yeah.
Did we not say anything? Have we missed anything? We've covered it. Let's get her out of here. She's got important meetings. Let's go. We're done. Avery Ann,
Well done.
baby.
Thank you.